Welcome to video 1 of 2 videos for this week. The first video will go over site planning and building pad. And this is where you'll begin drawing your home, your own design. The second video is how you draw your hardscape and landscape. Hardscape is whatever man makes, landscape is whatever nature makes. So we're going to do contours and building pad, and the second video we'll do the streets and the landscape. So let's begin like we always begin, and we open up a file. Okay, and we go to new. I'll just quickly open up one and I'll show you. This is what we're going to do today. We're going to open up a file that's already done. You're going to create a building pad whereby you are going to begin drawing your home. And notice that I've raised the grade on the building pad so that the rainwater can slope away from the site. I've raised it, and you can clearly see it if I move my section box closer and cut through the site. Okay, that's too far. Let's see. Can I go in just a bit? A little bit more. Okay, if I roll it now, see there? I've raised up the site here, and I've taken it down so the water flows away from the site. Okay, that's what we're going to do today. And let's see, we're going to go to File. No, you don't want to save that. We're going to go to New. We're going to go to Architectural Template, and we're going to say OK. And we're going to go to our levels. Let's drag in our project browser and our properties palette, and let's go to one of the cardinal points, elevations. Okay, and let's see, I click on there, and I'm going to move these down a little bit so they're not so huge. And my first floor will be, I'll say, 9 feet 6. Okay, and I'll add another floor. I'll go to architecture. I go to elevational marker. Don't click, I'll hover. And then I'll say the second one will be 9 feet. Okay, a little bit smaller, and I'll hover over the alignment and the line. Okay? So you can have another floor. My house has 4 floors, so I added another one. So you can always change them later or create footings and foundations later. Okay, let's go to your site plan. Don't go to levels, make sure you're in site, and there's an icon that shows you. I always minimize my ceiling plans because sometimes I make a mistake and go to level 1 or 2. It's the same here, and you can get mixed up. So I always minimize my ceiling plans until I do a ceiling plan. Let's go to site. Remember, go to site. And the way you know you're in site, you have this little blue triangular circle here. Okay? And we're going to draw a generic site for your project. Now remember, you can go down here and change your scale, and today we're going to make sure we do our drawings with the shadows on so that we can see our building footprint and things like that. Alright, so let's draw let's go to an architectural scale. Let's just go to 1/4 of an inch equals a foot. Well, we're doing with site, so we should be engineering. So let's go to 1 inch equals 20 feet. Oh, it's already on there. 1 inch equals 20. Let's leave it. Okay. Engineering is always on the site. 1 inch equals 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And then the architectural are always 1/8, 1/2, 1/16, 3/16 and those things. So we go to the site. Don't forget you're at the site. And then you go to massing in site. Okay. And we're going to end up with a topo surface, but first we have to do a property line. So let's do the property line, and we want to create it by sketching. Now if you have entering the distance and the bearings, if you have that information, you type them in. If not, we'll just create one. Create by sketching. So you can do a rectangle or you can do a line. I'm gonna do a line. So usually site plans are kind of irregular shaped. So I'm going to do a site plan like that, and I'm going to hit the green check and watch the site plan come up with the contour lines. With the property lines. See, it's line, short dash, short dash. There it is. It's already there. And you can click on these cardinal designators. You can see that little dash, click on it and move it out. And you click on the dash and you can move it out. And you can click on the dash and move it out. Click on the dash and move it out. Okay, good. Now, I've got my site plan. Now I have to figure out which way are my highest and lowest landforms are going to go. Is it going to go from high to low here? High to low here? You decide. So I'm going to have my house on this part and move it down to the end point. Okay? And so it's also good if you measure those, right? If you measure that, it's 200 feet. So that's enough to get my house in. Now, if you have an apartment or something, make sure you have enough information for that. All right, so let's begin. Let's do the site topo surface. So click on Topo Surface, and you're going to make those topo surfaces. Now, you have to click points. You're actually going along the lines of the curves of the contours. You're playing Mother Nature. So you got to go to pick points. So remember, we went to massing and site, we went to the property line, and now we're going to massing and site. We went to the topo surface. Now we place a point. So, and the green check comes up, so you know I have to do some homework. So I want the high to go from here to there. Okay, so I'm going to start here. So my highest point, it can be 8 feet, 10 feet, whatever it is, you put it the highest point over here. So I'm going to say the highest point is 6 feet. Okay? And you always have a site plan with your project. So, and I always go for the top, and I go in the middle and the bottom one. That way, if I have to edit at one, I can do it. All right, that's my first contour. So there it is, and I'm going to curve it. I'm going to follow an imaginary contour line. And then I'm going to go, and I'm going to change that to 5 feet. Okay? Since I ended up here, I'm just going to go laterally on there, and I'm going to go follow that. Okay. And then I'm going to go to 4. Okay, 4. And since I ended up here, I'm going to go laterally this way and go way out, and I'm going to come way back in and make it interesting. Okay, and then I'm going to go to 3. Okay, and then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then I'm going to go to 2. Since I'm down here, I'm going to go 1. There you go. And then now I'm going to go to 1. 1 foot. And I'm going to go here. I'm almost touching that edge. And now I'm going to go to 0. This is all the way down to 0. So now I'm going to, since I ended up here, I'm going to go here. And I will go along the edge and complete it. So there's my contours. Now I hit the green check. Now I can roll it and see what it looks like. So therefore, look at that. There's my contour. Now, the best way to visualize it is to look at your extents and add that section box right there. Section box, okay? And then I click it and I move it in, and there's my contour. There it is, right? But I want to be able to see it better. So let me go to shaded. Let's go to hidden line. Let's go to realistic. Let's see. It's a little too dark, so let's go back to hidden line. I can click on it. See that surface? And I can go to category. There's nothing there, but if you click here, a kebab of 3 dots will show up there, right? And you can type in earth up here if you want. E-A-R-T-H, earth. And there's a really dark one there. And if you don't like it, you can click on the world here and create new material. Go to identity, and go to appearance. And then go to the internet and find one, and then go and select a nice green color, or find an earth color swatch. Right? So, but for now, I'm just going to use the one that's on there, earth. And I'm going to say apply, and I'm going to say okay. Okay, and then now if I render it, it'll turn into that earth color. Okay. There it is. Now, if I want to edit the surface, I click here, and I say edit surface. Okay, and I can click on here, and I've actually selected one all by myself. So I'm going to go to the Create New Material, Identity, Appearance. I'm going to go to No Image Selected, and I do have one selected, and it's in here. Let's see. There's some green grass. There it is. And I'm going to say Open, and I'm going to say Apply. I'm going to say OK. So now you saw it blink there. Let's go to Realistic. So now the green top is the surface, and of course I hit the green check. So I like to have my top surface a certain color, and then I like my earth, so when I have a little contrast and I can see, right? And my contours are like that. Okay, so now let's go to, now we go to level 1, and we're going to look at that, right? And you can see that there are no contours, right? Let's go back to site. So if you don't see them, don't panic. Say, uh-oh, I forgot to be on, I forgot I'm not on site. See that 50 labels? When you can click on there and find a nice place, and no matter where you drag it, it'll place those contours on there very nicely. So now you've got contours. Sometimes the architects and engineers, they like 2 sets. So you put 2 sets on there. It breaks the line automatically and puts the contour. So that's kind of nice. All right, so now we're going to do our building pad on here. And of course we're in site, and we go to massing in site again. And we go to building pad. Now, you can draw a rectangle anywhere you want. And hit the green check. It's that simple. Look at that. And if I roll it, there's my building pad. Okay? I'm going to go back to site, and I'm going to go to building pad, and I'm going to draw one now. I'm going to put one over here in some kind of form. My house is, I got a wonky shaped house. Green check it, roll it. There you go. Now look at that. And the reason why it's cut like that is because my pick box, I can move it back out. But that's a good way of looking at to see how that's cut through there. See that one? Look at that. That one's cut through. And that one's cut through. And that's the little pad there. See that little pad? That's different from that. This is the earth, okay, and this is the pad. So you can select them either or. There's the pad, there's the earth. There's the pad, there's the earth, okay? So now you can go to, what we want to do is we want to, unless you have a basement, we want to raise that pad up. So you can click on that pad, and you can go to cardinal points. And let's see, north. There it is right there. You see that? And now what we want to do is we want to raise it up above the ground so that the rainwater is not draining in there. So it's 9'6". So I'm going to change that to 5'6". See what happens. 5 foot. Okay, let's try this one. Let's try this one at 3'6". All right, and say okay. Oh, that's really high. Let's go down to 4 feet. Just plain old 4 feet. Let's see. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's look at that. So I have both of these now. I've raised one up. One's almost at the level, and one's really high, right? So now I can really change them. I can click on this one, go back here, and let's go to the west here. There it is. So now I can make that one a little bit. See, there's the contour line. And I know I can make that one come up just a little bit. See there? But don't click the earth, click the slab. See, there's the slab. The way you know you have the slab is the dimension will show up. And that one's 3'6". Let's make this one 2'6" and see what happens. That's actually pretty good. All right, so I'm going to do both of these at the same time and show you. Let's go to your pick box right there and see. Let's move it back out. Okay, let's see. I can see those. There they are. Move them back out. There you go. Move them back out. These are your building pads. Now, you should already have a floor plan already. So that, let's go to your site again. I have a site that I want to drag in there, and I'll show you later once I do these. Okay, so these are the pads here, and what you want to do is you want to drain that soil very slowly. This is pretty good. The water is going to come away from here, and if they're too high or too low, then you can change those, right? So what you can do is you can click on the contours, okay, and edit the surface, and you can say place points. Now, if you know where the points that you want to place, you can place them. You know we started at 6, 5, 4, 3. So this is 3. So I think everybody should go up. I think these should go up to 4 so they drain away. So I'm going to change this to 4. There you go. And watch. I'm going to place these dots. I'm going to place one at the corner. Look at that earth coming up to 4 feet. Look at that. Follow it down. There you go. I'm going to go to the corner. There you go. And I'm going to go to here in the middle. There you go. I'm going to go a little bit right there. So now the earth is now sloping gently away from the property. Very nice. See, I'm going to go 3. I'm going to go 4 right here. Okay, 4. Oh no, this is 5. I should go 5 on this one. So, because this is further back, right? Let's go to 5 feet. And let's go to pick a point. Let's go here. There you go. I'm bringing this up just a bit so that this 5 is sloping away there. There you go. So now there's my green check, and everything checks out okay. So now let's go to your site, level 1 site. Okay. And let's go to walls, architectural, and you can start your wall system here. Okay, and let's roll that. So you can start your walls, and you can start your house there, right? So that's a way of doing it. Otherwise, what you can do is, I'm going to erase these. Okay, erase those, and I'm going to erase this one. I have a floor plan that I'd like to drag in that I've already drawn, and it's helpful if you do the dimensions. So let's go to Insert, Cad Link, and the drawing is in the R's, and it's a Revit. Batson, I put a D for the months. I put one with dimensions on it. Okay, it's already in there. You see there? And there's my dimensions. So I go 18 feet 6, 2 feet 10, 6 feet. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw my pad. So remember, you want to go to Massing in Site, Building Pad, and I'm going to draw a line, and I'm going to draw my dimensions for my house. Okay, it's relatively simple. It's 3 squares I've made here. I made a 3 square house. Alright, there it is, and I'm going to put a check there. So now that's my house, and I'm going to roll it, and I'm going to take my section box out, and I want to raise that up a little bit. See there? So I'm going to click on the pad. There it is, not the edge, and I'm going to go to the west here. See what happens. So there's the pad. It's 9'6". I'm going to raise it up to 2'6". See what happens. Hey, that's pretty good. But it's flat on there, and it's got a lot of, well, that's pretty good. So let's go back to my 3D and see what's looking. So that looks pretty good. The rainwater, make sure your pad is at least 6 inches above your grade, because the rainwater will run right into your house. So your first floor has to be at least 6 inches above the grade. And just so water won't pool around your building, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on the contour, okay, edit the surface. Now we're going to place points. Now we know that I start out with 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is 6, 5. I know this is 4. So I know I can at least go up to 5. So let's go up to 5. I don't want to go, well, actually I could go up to 6, and it would be flat over here. Really, I should go up to 7 in the back so it comes in the back. So let's try 7. So if I tried 7, okay, and I said pick point. So if I came around here, if I clicked here, it's right there at the edge, 7, but see, it's going up, and now the slope is going down. All right, so that tells me one thing, that I'm gonna put a check there. That's pretty good. I'm gonna raise the slab up just one more little tidbit. So let's go to 2'0". Okay, that's better. Now let's go back to the 3D. So now I've raised the back of the house up a little bit higher. That way the water is going to slope from 7 down to 6, right? And over here, it's going to be a really big hill. Of course, I can go down to 6 over here. So I'm click on the contours again, edit the surface. Yeah, let's not go so drastic. Let's place a point and watch over here. There's a dimension box that'll show up. Click here. Now I'm going to go to 6 on the front because the water is sloping that way anyway. So now watch. I'm going to go 6. See, now I'm raising this up to 6 feet. There you go. I'm gonna get that corner. I'm gonna get that corner. I'm gonna get that corner, and then I'm gonna roll it around, and I'm gonna get that corner. There you go. So now, if I look, there's my. I'm gonna come over. Let me see. I know this is 6 over here, so I'm gonna go here. There you go. I'm gonna walk around here and raise this grade up. There, I'm gonna get in the corner there. Now, now my pad, look at that. You can clearly see that the rainwater is going to slope away from there. You can see a lot better if I go to let me hit my green check. Let's do my pick box. Let's go in and cut through there. See there? If I cut through there, you can clearly see I'm going down to 6, and the rainwater is going down that way. So that looks good. So, yeah, if you can do that, then you're ready for video 2, where you put the contours on. Now the only thing left to do here is to start putting your walls on architectural. And if you already have a house drawn, you can insert it in there and place it, right? So you can start putting your walls in your house. And okay, let's see. And this part is one elevation, and the other part is another elevation. So you can begin putting your house there, and then we'll put the roads in there. So good job. This is the first video, and then you'll watch the second video to put the pad and the landscape. All right, good job. Okay, see you next time.